Hi guys, this is Makai Cosmo of the athlete section. Today we have a special guest. Before we get into it though, I'm recording this separately from the actual recording because my echo was really bad. The guest audio sounded really well, so we're gonna still use the recording. We're about to get into it. He was a football player at Gallaudet University in Washington, D.C., and he has a really great and inspiring story to tell. He's hard of hearing, so he uses sign language to communicate, but he also does speak. So you'll be able to hear him and just hear him tell his story. It's a really great detailed story. I'm just probably going to cut off my audio parts after I record this and just let him just talk throughout the whole thing. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for listening.
Hey everyone, my name is Cas from Haiti, and I was adopted in Ohio, went to Gallaudet University, and now I'm graduated, a personal trainer and a coach. So my story started out in Haiti. I was born not in a hospital, and then had my family that I didn't even know about. I've seen them before, but I didn't know about them. The only people I know is my older brother and my younger sister, who is adopted in France. So then after that, I somehow got lost in the street, didn't see my biological parents. And, I was just with my brother at the time. We were eating from trash and we were drinking like dirty water and just sleeping in the street. And that's how we both caught sickness from that, like typhoid, and the other sickness was tuberculosis. Those are the sickness I caught in Haiti. And then I was also struggling because like I was weak, and at the time I wasn't very strong like I am now. So then one day it just happened that people were walking by, they captured me, and then I got put into child slavery, known as the Restavek. That means modern day slavery. They captured anyone. So I was around about 3 years old at the time when that happened. And they forced me to work with like running errands. I was more of like a kitchen slave, struggling. They would like beat people there. They would also force people to like sleep on floors. It would not feed the people, making them starve. And then I also got branded right here on my left arm. I don't know how well you can see it, but it was the slave owner's name that was on me, but then they covered it up. One day the missionary walked through, saw me. I don't know what it was that made her want to come through, but she came through. She rescued me for $60 an American dollar. So then she got me and then put me in an orphanage, and that's where I would stay for a few more years until I was found by a family in Ohio. At the time in the orphanage, I was still struggling with sickness and many other things, being malnourished and not getting enough food. and my education was delayed. So then, you know, my family that I live with found me, and then they, saw the first picture, and they liked my smile and said the first thing they saw was me, and they decided they were gonna go with me. So then after that, it took a few years to adopt me because they had to do paperwork. They had to find people to help me get through Haiti. They had to find like bodyguards. They had to learn the language because English is not my first language. Creole was.
Oh.
Then after that, they finally were able to get me from Haiti. The same person who rescued me was the missionary. She had like 5 other kids with her that was supposed to also go, but they didn't make it through. I was the only one that made it through. And she flew me to Miami, Florida. Then that's where my adopted parents met me. So then I had struggles going to America, not only with the language, but first time they saw me, I was struggling with bathrooms. So I went to the bathroom. I peed in a planter
Oh.
because I thought I could just go to the bathroom anyway. And then my first meal in America was pizza. So I ate like a whole box to myself. So then after that, this one was really bad. This is why I'm happy I'm in Florida. But when I arrived to Ohio, where my parents lived, I was struggling because it was my first time experiencing cold, and I didn't like it. Soft snow, didn't like that. So I was freaking out about it. And so I had to get used to that too. So
Oh,
it was a struggle going through the cold. The biggest struggle I would say though really was when I started school. I was having trouble with like reading, writing, all that stuff. And I was also struggling with like which we didn't know about my hearing. My parents found out that I was hard of hearing because my mom was trying to call me and I didn't respond. And even if I did respond, it was slower than other people. So then the school thought I was being silly when they did like a hearing test to see how much hearing loss I had. Then we went to an actual doctor, and the doctor did confirm that I am hard of hearing. So that's when they found out. They found out that my left ear is better than my right ear, but both of them are hard of hearing. So what hard of hearing means is that I'm partially deaf, so in both ears. So then after that, I got hearing aids. I was still struggling to make friends, struggling to communicate with people. The struggle I had was that I was flushing things down the toilet. I was also, one time I decided I was going to go out of my room and, you know, take all the food out of my parents' fridge. And so we had these like block of cheese that I stole at nighttime. I ate them all. Next day, couldn't go to the bathroom.
Oh.
I mean, I mean, I didn't know what food was, so being spoiled with it now, I thought, well, I might as well keep enjoying it. So then my parents, of course, found out about that, and they said, "I hope you learned a lesson." So that's when I found out I was struggling with many other things. I was behind my education, didn't know what was happening, and then that's when my parents both got me signed up for sports. Started playing soccer, was not really into it. Did baseball for a little bit, and then I did basketball, and then soon I found love for football in fifth grade, which I started. And fifth grade, it was my first game, and I didn't even know the plays, and I missed practice, so I didn't see much of action. After that, though, my dad said, we were tied, and the other coaches were thinking the same thing. They agreed with my dad to put me in at running back, and so the last play of the game, I got the ball, didn't even know what I was doing, went off, and after that, I scored, and that's when I found out I really liked the game of football, and that football was my thing. And that's where I continued it, and also I continued track as well too. But I then made my way to football from elementary to college. Played all 4 years of high school, 5 years in college. And then the school I went to for high school that I played for was a hearing all white school. So that was mostly no diversity. And then with Gallaudet, that's where I found more diversity because the school I went to in high school, it was mostly all white school. So I found more people that were relatable to me, that were deaf, hard of hearing, and also hearing too. But not only that, but people from different countries, people people of different background, different skin colors. And then that's where I got the call from my football coach at Gallaudet that he wanted me to play for him. At first, I was like iffy on it. Didn't know if I wanted to go to a deaf school, even though I am hard of hearing. So I ignored the message for a couple of days, and then I showed my parents, and they said that's a good opportunity. After that, we went on a visit. I liked it, but I was still not sure if I wanted to go to Gallaudet yet. And Gallaudet is in DC, by the way. And then I decided, after my senior year of high school, I wanted to go to Gallaudet to get the experience. And the experience was really fun at Gallaudet. I mean, it was not perfect, because, the positive part is that you still learn the language and the deaf culture. And then the negative part is that, they're just like hearing people. There's still drama, gossip, and all that fun stuff. But, you learn something new every day. And Gallaudet, was a good experience. And then that's where I decided I wanted to continue coaching and be in the fitness industry. And also, that's where I majored in physical education and recreation. And then I just recently graduated last May.
So in this question, I was asking him, um, did he get his opportunity for coaching or just get inspired by coaching because of the love for the game of football? And also, did he have any opportunities in undergrad or anything that kind of inspired this as well?
Yes, that was inspired by the love for the game. I wanted to continue. Well, also it was also because my fifth year in football at Gallaudet, I throughout my career I also struggled with injuries. So by the end of my career at Gallaudet, I had a blood clot, and so I missed a lot of the season. I didn't get the opportunity to do what I really wanted to do. So that's when I also thought, I like working out. I like playing football. I have the passion for the game. So that's what I wanted to continue.
So I asked him about his time at Gallaudet and if the majority of the campus was deaf or was it the full thing was just inspired by aiding deaf students and just how that worked.
Most of the campus is deaf. That's
Oh.
so that it's like the only deaf college in America. It's a big thing for the deaf community.
Next, I asked if he knew about the university before he played football or was it directly after the coach reached out to him.
And I would say it was after.
In his next question, I asked him, kind of going back to his experience in Haiti. Since he was so young, he was able to provide a vivid picture with the story that he already told. But I wanted to know if there were some things that he still had in his mind to this day, or was it all a blur?
So the memories from Haiti, it's not the greatest, but yeah, I still think about it at times. But the only time I really think about that stuff is like when I'm using it as a motivation. So as you see my shirt that I have here, when I think about Haiti or hard things in life, I always use this saying, survive and thrive. So that's what I always tell people because, like you said, I could be sitting in the corner, I could be feeling bad for myself, and just continue thinking about that. But at the end of the day, it's about surviving, thriving for me.
Next, I asked if he still kept in contact with his birth siblings.
Do I keep in contact with my bio family? With my parents, no, because they like died when I was in middle school. My older brother, yes, I do keep in contact with him, but not much anymore like I did before. My sister, who's in France, yes, I do keep contact with her. I have not visited. I have not visited Haiti since, but my sister did come visit me here in America from France.
Although his experience wasn't the greatest in Haiti and there's a lot going on right now, I asked him, was there any point of his life where he might want to still go back and visit at some point?
Would I ever visit Haiti? I mean, right now it's a struggle, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the best idea for me to visit right now because right now, there's a lot of gang violence that's happening there. They don't have the best like leaders right now, so they're really still struggling.
Mm.
And if
That
I
is,
were to go, I would have to have a bodyguard as strong as I am.
yeah. Next, we got into topics about his social life and kind of adapting into the United States way of living, but also socially, how was he able to catch up and also catch that he was hard of hearing and adapt to sign language along with his support system and family, adapting to that as well.
um, well, well, the hearing thing. it didn't take long for my parents to notice that I couldn't remember. I think they caught it in like kindergarten. I think that's more when they caught it, but I'm not sure. But everything else, I mean, like it was pretty obvious that you know I was like behind in my education, and I didn't know how to work with other people. So
Mhm.
that was pretty obvious. I think they knew that right away. You know.
I then asked him if football, did he think that football was something that played a big part and vital role in his socializing and get out of his comfort zone when adapting to the society and just life in general.
Yes, I would say that it that changing moment for me because really I was getting in like a lot of trouble when I came here, and wasn't real like it was my fault. It was just like that was just the person I was, and I wasn't the best person yet at the moment. And that's when football came in, and my parents were both like, you need to get your grades up. You need to make sure you communicate, and if you're struggling with something, ask for help. And that's where in football taught me like, you know, life is not going to be easy. You sometimes you have bad games, sometimes you have good games, and that's what I use football as. That in life, even as an adult now, I learned that too. So knowing that I'm gonna go through struggles no matter what.
In an interview back in high school, I saw that one of his goals was to play football in the NFL. So I asked him how his trajectory probably changed now and the new mindset he had going into his career goals and just what it looked like.
Well, it was one of my dreams. Continuing to play football was one of my dreams. But at the same at the same time, you know, the lack of opportunities I got, the injuries, and just my passion for lifting, coaching really was what I wanted to do after my senior year, after I had the blood clot. It was just things changed. Like I wanted to still be involved in the game, but more
Yeah.
opportunities came by for me. Honestly, I would be happy. I would be so. I just recently coached the Florida School for the Deaf and Blind. They won a state championship, so that was cool. They were high school football team, but yeah, I would love more opportunities, whether it's like younger kids, older kids, adults. I would love the opportunity to coach, but I also would like the opportunity, to be a coach at a gym. I mean, I've been working out since I was like 11 years old, so that's where I got it from.
Next, we go into dynamics with his adoptive family and his household.
I'm the only I'm the only kid in my adopted family that got adopted. I have like two older sisters that are from my adopted family. We're pretty close. The only thing is I feel like an only child because they both are about 10 years older than me. They
Oh,
both have
that's
kids now, and so I'm
yeah.
just getting started with life out of school. So
Next, I ask him what events he ran in track and field.
for track and field, I did like sprint. I did long jump for a little bit, but
Okay.
other than that, it was more to help me with my speed and football.
We got into a little bit more of his adaptability and adjustments he had to make when moving from Haiti to the U.S. and just things he still experienced and had to learn?
At a young age, I would say, at a young age, it was really a struggle. So, took time to like adapt to the American culture. So, wasn't easy. So, took me years to learn that. The first thing I saw my adoptive parents as, I didn't really think of them as my parents because, you know, seeing them, I saw, well, they're just other people, and it was like I was struggling with having a good relationship with them as a young kid. As a young kid, you then I learned that they were there to help me like succeed in my life, see past many things, like become more open minded, and they allow me to have the opportunity to continue my culture with Haiti, and that's when they also were very supportive with sign language when they found out about Gallaudet and deaf community. The other thing, being being the first in my biological family to really have an education, I did get my diploma in high school. I did get my degree in college, so that was one of the things that I was happy about because no one in my biological family has done that before.
So now we get into our last question where I ask the guests if they can give one piece of advice to an athlete, what would it be? Before we get into his answer, though, I do want to encourage you to go look up his name, Cas Mastrapaolo. As soon as you look it up, you'll see all kinds of articles and videos just about him doing interviews and just telling his story because it's really inspirational, especially when you dig deeper into it. So I do highly encourage that. I really had a great time talking with him. He had a great story. He reached out to me actually and on Instagram and asked me, well, he just actually reached out to me with his post, and I was like, "Oh, is this you?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, want to hop on a podcast?" And he was like, "Sure." So this is how we started this, and I'm very glad that he did. And if you're an athlete as well who is listening to this and I haven't reached out to you, please feel free to reach out to me and say, "Hey, I wouldn't mind being on a podcast," because I love to just tell athletes stories and just have the opportunity to tell the story and do it justice. So feel free to DM me or whatnot on Instagram and we can get some things started. But yeah, so here we go with this answer.
Well, if I had to use one thing to inspire people,
Mm-hmm.
um, like I said earlier, my favorite thing is survive inside. For those that are going through the struggle, continue to survive inside. Don't stop what you're doing. You may have a hard life at first or even now, but at the end of the day, it depends on you on what you do, and surround yourself with the right people that will help you, just like I was able to with my adoptive family. Where can people find me on social media? You guys can find me through Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, yeah, and all my social media. I just go by Castor Charles, CASTERCHARLES.
All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. I had a really good time recording it. Like I do all of my episodes, I feel like everybody's stories are really inspiring and fun just to get into. And I'm glad that Cass is able to tell it. Again, sorry about the audio mix up with my audio. I had to really cut mine out because it just was really bad. But yeah, continue to follow the Instagram for updates, follow the TikTok. You can stream the athlete section on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Share, like, comment, all of that great stuff. And we'll be with the next episode next week.